You're listening to ADHD Support Talk. ADHD Support Talk is brought to you by addclasses.com. Visit www.addclasses.com to sign up for helpful online events and resources today. Well, hello. I want to welcome you back to ADHD Support Talk. I'm your co-host, Lynne Edris, and I'm a productivity and ADHD coach. So for nearly 20 years now, I've helped overwhelmed professionals and entrepreneurs from around the world learn to take control of their days and accomplish what they intend more easily so that they have the fulfillment they want with plenty of free time, energy, and attention for what matters most to them. And I'm a woman with ADHD myself, guys, so I get it. I've lived in that constant state of chaos and overwhelm and underperformance that so many of us know too well, and I've come out the other side, so to speak. Now, don't get me wrong, I still have ADHD, but I've learned to make the days that ADHD wins be the exception and not the rule. And I've created a life with more success and fulfillment than I once thought was possible for me. And that's exactly what I want for each and every one of you, because that's what I know is possible for you, and it's what you deserve. You can learn more about me and the programs and services I offer at www.coachingadvantages.com. And if you text the keyword my quiz, that's MYQUIZ, to the number 33777, you'll get complimentary access to my online productivity breakthrough quiz to identify your productivity type and get to the root of what gets in the way of your productivity and follow through so that you can stop struggling, take control of your time and your life, and show up like the incredible person you really are more easily and consistently. Well, today I want to talk about time budgeting. So let's start with a scenario I see all the time. A client of mine, let's call her Sarah, is a successful entrepreneur. She's brilliant at what she does. Her clients love her and she has big goals for growing her business. But every single day, she finds herself in a familiar cycle. She looks at her long to-do list in the morning, starts working on what feels important, and before she knows it, the day is gone. Some days she barely makes a dent in her list. Other days she overcommits and works late into the night trying to catch up. Sarah's struggle? Time blindness. She has a hard time estimating how long things will take. Some tasks feel like they'll be quick, but eat up her entire afternoon. Others feel like they'll take forever, so she avoids them altogether. And of course, distractions, perfectionism, and the ever tempting side quests mean that even when she thinks she's planned well, things don't always go as expected. Sound familiar? I wish I could see a show of hands because I'm sure it does to a lot of you. So here's the deal. If you're listening to this, chances are you've experienced something similar. Time estimation and planning are real challenges for those of us with ADHD. For most people, time is kind of like a ruler. They see it in increments and they can judge pretty accurately how much of it something will take. But for those of us with ADHD, time is more like a weird stretchy rubber band. Our perception of time is completely connected to how stimulating something is or how interested we are in something in the moment. When something is stimulating, interesting, exciting, or engaging, time flies. We think we've been working for like 20 minutes and suddenly it's been 3 hours. When something is boring, unclear, or dreaded, time drags. We expect it to take forever. We remember it having taken forever, and just the thought of starting can feel overwhelming because we feel like it's going to take forever. This is why we struggle to gauge how long something will take, remember how long something actually took in the past, and plan our days effectively. And when you pair that with hyperfocus, distractions, and perfectionism, it's no wonder we get stuck in a cycle of avoidance, procrastination, and overcommitting. So, what's the solution? This is where what I call time budgeting comes in. Instead of asking yourself, how long should this take? Which, let's be honest, is kind of a joke. It's a question that often leads us astray. I encourage my clients to ask a completely different question. Given what I know is on my plate today, how much time is this worth? I'm going to go ahead and ask that again. Given what I know is on my plate today, how much time is this worth? This small shift can make a huge difference because it forces you to think about time as a resource, not an open-ended, endless supply. Think about it like money or water. But if you think about it like money, if you had a set budget for your groceries, you wouldn't just walk into the store and buy things without checking the price or thinking about what you actually need, right? You'd be mindful of how much you can spend and what's most important. And if you think about it like water, say your water's been turned off or your water supply is broken and you've got a bathtub full of water, just one, to flush your toilets, to wash your dishes, to brush your teeth, and to drink. You'd be really careful about how you used it, right? You wouldn't be washing your car. Your time works the same way. But here's the thing, this strategy, this whole time budgeting approach works best when you have two key supports in place. Number one, a clean, effective calendar that reflects reality, not an overstuffed, overfilled, aspirational version of what you wish you could do in a day. Okay, number one, a clean calendar. And number two, a solid system for task management that makes it easy for you to determine what's timely and what your real priorities are. So, a clean calendar and solid task management make this strategy a lot easier. So if your calendar is a mess or your task list is chaotic, it's hard to make confident decisions about how much time something is worth. But when your calendar is reliable and your task list is clear, time budgeting becomes much easier because you can see exactly what's on your plate, make informed choices about where your time is best spent, and really clearly see how much time you have available in a day. And if those are things you need help with, I'm here. So I want to talk about how you apply this strategy. Again, the question is, given what I know is on my plate today, how much time is this worth? So first, you want to look at your calendar. Before diving into your to-dos, check your day. How much time do you realistically have between meetings, commitment, and the rest of life? And don't forget to include things like transition time and travel time between appointments, right? That's also needs to be accounted for. So again, look at your calendar first. Then, second, define what done looks like. For each task, get clear on the goal or the objective. Are you finishing the whole thing or just making progress? What's the minimum version of done that still moves you forward? For something like an email or another kind of communication, what's the other person really need to know? Bottom line it for yourself. Define what done looks like. Not perfect, not ideal, not the kitchen sink and everything else you want in it. Define what done really looks like. Okay, that was number two. Number three, decide how much time it's worth today. Based on what else you have going on, how much time do you want to give this task? Maybe answering emails isn't worth 90 minutes, it's worth 20. Maybe writing that report is worth an hour today, even if it's not finished. Okay, decide how much time it's worth today. Number four, use a timer to reinforce that boundary. Set a timer for the time you budgeted. And when it goes off, reassess. Are you at a good stopping point? Do you need more time or is this good enough? I actually like to set a warning timer. That's what I call it. So set a timer for a couple of minutes before that boundary that you set for yourself or that allotted time for yourself to see where you are, see how things are going, see if you're really on track and what you may need to adjust. All right. Are you at a good stopping point? Do you need more time or is this sufficient? Okay. And number five, adjust as needed, but stay intentional. Okay. I'm going to say that again. Adjust as needed, but stay intentional. If you underestimated, that's okay. But instead of rolling into another hour without thinking, make a conscious choice. Is this the best use of my time right now? And again, how much time is this worth right now? So if you've struggled with time blindness, poor time estimation, feeling like your days disappear, I hope you find this strategy helpful. It's an important shift, and it's a really important way to change how you think about the way you allocate time as a resource. And I'm happy to help if that's something you need more help with. Remember, you are not alone in this. Time management with ADHD isn't about fixing yourself. It's about working with your brain, not against it. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. Join me and other members in the ADHD Support Talk Facebook community to ask questions, get my help, share your insights, make suggestions for future topics, future guests. We are here to connect with you and to help you. If you found this episode helpful, please take a moment to leave it a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. Your reviews help more people find us and get the support that they need. As always, I appreciate your attention. Until next time, Take care. Again, this is Lynne Edris of Coaching Advantages.